His 1992 album, Breathless, sold more than 12 million copies in the United States alone. For tickets and upcoming tour dates, visit KennyG.com. Kenny G starts our Super Bowl coverage like he does every year and has for many years. Kenny G opens our Super Bowl coverage. I've got a lot of questions for Kenny G. Thank you. Oh, he's here. He's here. He's here.
I think this is just the second year, Dan.
That is correct.
I always give a fanfare for myself wherever I go.
Yeah. That's good. That must be nice.
Mm-hmm. It is. You know, when you have a sax like this, you travel with it.
I want to talk to Kenny G about his life. It's a fascinating life. There are many things fascinating about it. Go ahead, Stugotz. Make the joke about 15 seconds too late. Go ahead.
That's a fun.
So Kenny G is with us on ESPN Radio, and what I wanted to ask you about is flying your own planes. How often do you do that?
I do it about once or twice a week.
And do you fly to your own venues, or you just fly for fun? You fly to perform, or?
Well, the answer is yes.
All right. Well, no, I want to know about Kenny G's gangster lifestyle, though. Like, sometimes you leave your home, go to the airport, just get a plane that has a G on the back and a sax, and just fly to and land wherever it is you're performing.
That happens at times, yes. And I don't know about the G on the back of the plane, but there's a G in the front of the plane flying it.
That's
right. That a boy.
That a boy.
Yes.
Do you have any good Miles Davis stories?
The Miles Davis story I have is that I was opening up for him in New York, and he came into my room, and the only time he ever talked to me, we played about 10 shows together, and he goes, "Hey, I like that song you play. The ladies like it."
What a great compliment.
Yes.
Where does that rank in the all-time compliments that Kenny G has ever gotten from anybody?
That's probably way at the top, because whenever the jazz traditional guys start giving me a bad time, I say, "Listen, were you in the room when Miles came up to you and told you how good you were?"
Well, but how does this work, though? Are you judged by other saxophonists who are jealous of your horns and your success?
That's probably a true statement, Stugotz.
Whoa. No, but is it?
That's probably one of the best things you said all day.
That's a fine, Kenny.
That is a fine, Kenny.
Yeah, because Dan said, so send us $5, please.
All right, so Kenny G is with us. His given name. Does anybody who refers to you by your given name? It's Gorelick, right? The last name?
It is Gorelick. Yeah. A lot of people do. It's funny. People will come up and go, "Hello, Mr. Gorelick," and I go, "Wow, how'd you know that? That's pretty cool."
Well, how often does this happen though, where people are like, they looking at your driver's license and they know it's Kenny Gorelick, and then they realize, oh, wait a minute, this is Kenny G.
It happens at the airport when I give them my passport, going through security. They'll kind of look at it, then they look up, then they look down, then they look up, and then they smile and they go, "Hey." That's it.
That's it. That's the end of the story. Didn't you play that? Didn't you? Did I read something the other day about like somebody was
played
flying
on an airplane,
flying somewhere, and you broke out playing you did a concert on the plane in commercial in coach.
It was coach. Yeah, I was flying coach. But bro, we all fly coach sometimes, and so the lady next to me was a flight attendant for Delta. She was on a leave, and she said, "Hey, let's raise some money for this charity, and come on, come down the aisle and play while I raise money." And we did it. It was really fun, actually.
All right. Yeah, his life.
Yeah.
You live a fun life. Like, you don't have any terrible burdens in your life, right? You jump from happiness to happiness, note to note.
I don't know. I don't think about life like with burdens. I just look at it like with challenges. I practice every day. I'm trying to become better. I fly all the time to become a better pilot. I don't really think about it in the way of burdens. So, yeah. Sorry about that.
But you got a great life.
There's no downside here.
But Kenny, you got a great life. I mean, you're flying around. You got your own plane. I mean, there's a G flying that plane. You're playing golf with Phil Mickelson. You got a pretty good life there, Kenny.
Golf with Phil Mickelson.
Yeah.
You're a good golfer,
Golf with
right?
Phil Mickelson. He's fun to play golf with. He is a great golfer, obviously. It's so much fun.
Yeah, lefty. How much money? The most amount of money you've lost to Phil Mickelson playing golf?
Kenny G, did you just tell us that Phil Mickelson's a great golfer? Is that was your analysis of the whole situation?
I want to know the betting, though.
All right, let's hear about the betting.
I know, right?
There's some betting going on with Phil, isn't there? There has to be
some betting with Phil.
Yeah.
I have to limit it because that's his thing, man. It's always about Benjamin Franklin. Anything you want, it's always Benjamin Franklin. He starts talking about Benjamin Franklin, and then you start losing him because, hey, I'll bet you Benjamin that I can X, Y, Z, and of course he can, and then you bet against him, and he always wins.
I'm telling you, Kenny has to be very careful here because there are people that are friends with Phil that have spoken too much, given too many details about what happens on the golf course, and they're no longer friends with Phil.
Yes. Oh, we didn't know that.
No, Kenny did fine right there.
We didn't know that. We didn't know that. Because, well, wait a minute. But you asked the question. You tried to get him in trouble. You're telling us now after he's given the answer.
Yeah, I didn't realize it till after.
No, it's great. I love playing with him. I don't mind losing a few $100s. It's nothing like life-changing. We never bet for that much. But honestly, he's a lot of fun on the golf course. He's a good talker, and he's also, he's just good. And when he calls his shots, which is really fun. He goes, "Watch this. I'm gonna hit this thing from this to this," and he just does it, and you go, "Wow, that was amazing."
That's Lefty.
That is.
Yeah, I mean,
Kenny,
I gotta get out there and play with you and Lefty one time. I'm a lefty. I'm a lefty as well, by the way. Kenny, can we make this happen? Me, you, and Lefty play 18 holes, Pebble Beach.
Enough. You just tried to get him in trouble with Lefty. Pebble Beach.
Kenny.
At Pebble Beach? I don't know. Maybe we might be able to do it on my home course, but I don't know about Pebble.
I'll be there tomorrow.
All right. So tell us about Jim Nance's wedding.
Yeah, beautiful wedding on the 7th hole at Pebble Beach. What a setting! And then the funny thing was, Gary McCord, the sportscaster.
Mm-hmm.
Like I played a song for them when Courtney walked down the aisle. It was a beautiful song, and I come off and I finish, and Jim and Gary McCord goes, "Man, I thought you were going to choke."
Oh,
it was really funny. No, he's a funny sportscaster. So I said, "Hey, that was really funny." But no, this is a saxophone. I'm not going to choke. I mean, I choke with a 6-iron, but not with a sax.
Do you have the song that you played for them that Gary McCord came after you on?
It went. I played it slower than that, but it was a beautiful melody.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
You're the best. Can you give us the celebrity who got drunkest at Nance's wedding?
I don't remember that. I do remember talking to Ken Venturi at his wedding, and that was fun. He was classy, but he wasn't drunk.
Kenny, that's not the story I was looking for. I was looking for a good celebrity story at Jim Nance's wedding, and you gave me that crappy story.
Hey, bro, I got to keep it clean. Jim's a friend of mine. He's a great guy. Right. Love him.
Who are your enemies? Who are Kenny G's?
Who doesn't like Kenny G?
Who are Kenny G? Everyone's a great friend. Who's a Kenny G enemy? Like, who's your rival?
Good question. If I have them, I don't know who they are.
All right.
They keep their secret. They're in the secret society. I don't know. You're funny.
All right. We got one more question for you.
What's the single most important thing the Eagles have to do to beat the Patriots?
Yes, there it is. Yes, of course. They got to get Kenny G to play the national anthem, of course. All right.
All they need is me to play the national anthem, and it's done.
All right. Talk to you tomorrow?
Yep. Absolutely.
All right. We'll call you tomorrow. Good talking to you, Kenny G.